Welcome back to Titan Academy. In this video, we will discuss project style. We'll cover what is the project style, combining the project style with element style, how to find an element in the panel, how styling works per type, options to set style for individual elements and element groups, and how and when should we use the project style panel. Project Style is a panel that holds the styles to all of the Titan elements and components. Its main purpose is to set a unified base style for the elements across your project. Before we dive into this panel, I'll mention that there is another styling panel equally important called Element Style Panel, and the two should be used together to set up the styles of a Titan project. The way it works is with two layers of styling. The project style is first used as a base layer to create a common style, and then the element style is used to override styles in specific elements that require a different style. The project style panel can be opened from the top menu, Project, Style, Configure. It displays all of the elements and components on the left, and once something is selected, the properties are shown. It is divided into 5 groups: simple elements, such as a line or input elements; complex elements, such as a table or gallery carousel; project level elements, such as pages, headers, or confirmation modals; e-commerce components, such as the catalog or product dialog; and the scheduler, which holds actually one element, but a complex one in terms of styling. The easiest way to find an element type in the panel is to select the element on the canvas while the panel is open. This will automatically make your cursor jump to focus on the selected element within the Style panel. Here we are looking at a text input field. To look at the button group, we'll select a button on the layout. If you know the location of the element inside this panel, you can open the relevant group to find it. You can also search for your element type. The most important thing to understand about styling from this panel is that it applies to elements and element groups per type. What does this mean? It means that you will be setting up a specific style for your element types, for your titles, your input elements, your buttons, your charts, etc. When you set a style from this panel, it will never change a specific element, but will always affect all elements of the same type across the project. For example, I'll change the input font on the input element group. As another example, I'll add a star rating element to my current home page, and I'll also add one to a second page in the project, my details page. If I return to the home page, then select the star rating and make a change such as the fill color, and then return to the other page, you will notice that that star rating element was changed as well. The project style does not only apply to the elements that are currently in your project, but also to newly added elements. I'll add a new star rating. Notice how the styles are the same, reflecting the changes that we've made. The project style saves you the time of having to make the same style configurations over and over again. It enables you to apply the same style on all of the relevant elements in your project in one go. Another matter that merits mentioning is that while some elements, like the star rating, are one of their kind, others, like buttons, belong to a group. In the example of a button, we have both primary and secondary buttons. So primary and secondary buttons are individual elements, but they belong to the same button group. For this reason, the project style offers two options to affect the entire group or each button separately. If you change the styles under the common option, for example, I'll change the fill, notice how both types of button change. And if you choose button, you will have the option for selecting a group, primary buttons or the secondary buttons. Let's change the fill of only the secondary button type. Other examples for element groups are text elements, like titles, headings, etc., shapes, which include the shape and the icon, input fields, charts, etc. Now let's discuss how and when we should use the project style panel. It is recommended to start off your project design by setting its base styles with this panel. For example, set one font to be used across your project under Page, All Pages, Font. We also suggest going over all of the elements you will be using in the project and setting their common styles from here. For example, let's set a common look for all input fields. Here I have a text field, an email field, and a number field. Let's set a common variant. And let's set a common primary color. Another consideration is that some Titan component styles are only available under this panel. So if you want to style confirmation modals, toast messages, or your window, for example, you will have to do so in this panel. And that is how it's done.